right? You do laundry, I wash the dishes. You sweep, I lay the bed. This is divine love. That's how you actually show that you're in love. That's splitting the chores perfectly. What does that look for? I mean, I'm curious what Swedish people think, but what does that mean for you when you think about that? What does love look like across borders? From Lagos to Tokyo to Buenos Aires, how do men show love differently around the world? What are the biggest cultural shifts you have noticed in how men treat women from region to region?
I definitely believe that, love language is, a lot different culturally. Yeah, I mean, I would argue in Nigeria, for example, it's all about the protection and provision. The provision part is capital letters, right? It's like, that's a huge deal. And I think if you are not from that culture, you struggle to really understand it because you just assume maybe a lot of the women, they are gold diggers. And it's not entirely true. It's just a cultural thing. It doesn't make it right, but that's one thing for sure that I know is big in Nigeria. And it's the same as you. I mean, you mentioned that, and I'm like, I woke up to that thought exactly this morning. I don't know why it came. Maybe I just was on social media and I'm like, how much Nigeria and the US are so alike. The cultures, everything, like from dating to motivations, why we do things. Like Nigeria and the US is so much in alignment in times because it's the same. Your bank alert would determine these sort of things you can pull in. Yeah.
Exactly. And in Nigeria, bank alerts are the new love letters. I've actually heard stories of guys going straight to a girl that they think they like, they want. And the first thing is, not let me have your phone number. Put your account number here.
Now that's gold digging, man. That the new
Let me
thing now
send you a
is
love letter.
Yeah, that's that's not what I'm used to. Nah.
But you know what's funny about it is that now you go on the internet, you see South African ladies, you see American ladies talking about how Nigerian guys are the best things after sliced bread because of that culture that we bring. That's one that when it transfers to other parts of the world, it looks like a positive, right?
Yeah.
But then I think there are some that might transfer to another part of the world and look a little bit, So, for example, in Sweden, when you can split the chores perfectly well, right? You do laundry, I wash the dishes. You sweep, I lay the bed. This is divine love. That's how you actually show that you're in love. That's splitting the chores perfectly. What does that look for? I mean, I'm curious what Swedish people think, but what does that mean for you when you think about that?
Yeah, that doesn't sound like something I'll be willing to get involved with because I'm not culturally wired like that. Of course, I'm not insensitive. I'm still not like as rigid that I would consider a lot of some people are. I mean, in Nigeria, for example, like I can be open to some ideas of, so it's not like, I'm like just doing absolute nothing while my wife or girlfriend is killing herself on everything, right? But the goal would always to be to sort of find a way where maybe she's not killing herself to do everything, but it's not supposed to fall on me either. So that's the way we are thinking about it. And that makes the difference.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's also from a Nigerian lens because now you're thinking about the equal choice and you're looking at the other responsibility of provision and protection. And we have already talked about how this might be a conflict of interest with time. But I think in the Swedish world, that protection which is very interesting because in the past, they used to have the protection and provision thing resting on the men. But there
Yeah.
are way more advanced society today that it's equal choice, equal provision. I don't know, maybe even equal protection because they have very tall girls there.
They do actually,
I'm sorry.
especially Denmark.
Yeah,
But
but at least
they are
I
the
know.
Viking lines, right? Lanes, right?
Yeah,
Or
exactly. So
lineage,
the
right?
Nordic countries. Yeah, so you have the Nordic countries: Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and
Finland.
Finland. Right, but then the Nordics were actually Norway, and they would always fight with the Danes, the Denmark guys. But you see, in their own lens, the equal chore request makes sense because guess what? You drop 50 euros, I drop 50 euros. And I have to make it that way. Now, you see, I think this is a very important one because I think people are now mix and matching and then making generalization on what men are not, even though there are these differences in culture and the interaction with the women from those cultures
Other
that we
cultures.
exactly that we don't. So a Nigerian man with a Nigerian woman is a sort of perfect match of understanding. Like that, even for us, being that we have left Nigeria for a while, we are sort of a knot in our head twisted
Twisted in our
somehow.
head.
That yeah, exactly. That we don't even understand Nigerian women as much as our other fellow men in Nigeria. That difference is that huge, and this is also what warranted this topic. I don't believe that women see that difference is that huge. I think they still lump men together in any case. Very few
Yeah.
women actually pay attention and say, look, when they say men do this, you might need some bit of clarification of, are you talking about American men? Are you talking about British men? Because this transfer of the definition and implications, it's causing a lot of problems from my perspective. What do you think? Do you see that as well?
100%. The best way I will put this is, you're right. A lot of women don't see it at all. I mean, I've been, a few intercultural relationships, and sometimes it's very, very clear when I'm going through maybe a situation with a girlfriend that this is a strong cultural difference. And she will be arguing from a different standpoint of, no, this is just this, or this is just wrong. And I'm laid back and looking at the situation like, yeah, it feels wrong to you, because in my head, I'm thinking of any Nigerian girl right now. We are not having this conversation because we are aligned that this is how things are. I think the clarification is really, really needed when having conversations about what men do, what women do.
Yeah.
And yeah, for sure.
And what is expected as well. For example, in Argentina, romance is performance act, right? Poetry at breakfast, dancing by lunch. Imagine expecting that from a German guy.
Yeah.
The German guy is about to send you the 50 cents that you haven't paid on the coffee because you didn't have enough coins. And it's still love. It's still love. And it's one of the biggest comedy things that I see on Instagram as well about, oh, you went on a date with a German guy, after the hike, you shared coffee and they still sent you the bill. It doesn't mean he's not interested. It doesn't mean that he's trying to be too difficult. It's just what they know. It's how it is for them.